I had this Puerto Rico Rob, Scram Jones. We were at dinner last night, and we just started we just got on this tangent about best album covers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, the War Report's got to be in that conversation. It's timeless. It's on T-shirts. It's on hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
What was the photo shoot like? The conceptual thought process of War Report's cover, because it is so iconic, and it's still people have.
I didn't realize what you said.
Shoreline Mafia
I saw that.
paid homage to it.
Yeah, I saw that. Bigged them up. And they did a video too. They're
Yeah,
very
no,
dangerous
bro.
in the video.
By the way, even at Coachella, they were CNN'd out with the tanks and shit and the
they
camos.
Crazy. They crazy. Yeah, I like them, but they're crazy. It's crazy. And I'm not flossing. This is just facts. I went out to dinner the other day with Jamie Lefrak.
Mm-hmm.
His family owns Lefrak. That's where I'm from.
Got it.
And he says to me, the first time I found out about you, and I said, what is that? He said, they said that somebody's in my apartments throwing down sand and taking pictures. So I looked at him and I was like, sir, you have no idea what you just described to me. And he goes, what is that? I said, that's my very first album cover. That's the War Report. Because we didn't have Photoshop back then.
Right.
We had to go to Jones Beach. We had to go to Rockaway Beach and actually literally pick up sand and put it on the floor. So when you see my Timberlands is actually on sand. And then everything else was that version of Photoshop later. But that's what I remember. I remember us getting kicked out because we had to literally bring our own props. And
because back then it was like you said, it wasn't like you could just. And you can make anything on a fucking computer now if you take a picture in front of a fucking green screen.
Yeah, you could be in Greece right now
for sure.
And that was iconic. And then another thing that stood out to me that happened with that album cover was the dude snitched on the whole neighborhood the next day. I don't know if y'all ever seen the War Report. When you open up the War Report, we got a place in there where it goes Traitor. Where it says Traitor. The dude took the picture with he's in both. He's in Queensbridge and he's in Lefrak. And the very next day, he took the stand on everybody in the picture. Everybody. He's in the picture with him the day before.
Oh wow!
So that's why you see when you open up the album cover, it says Traitor. Yeah.
I feel like if you would have did that these days, that guy probably would have sued you. Everyone's getting fucking sued right now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Yo, talk to me for you, man. I do feel like, as much as Joe Budden was the first guy, I do feel like this surge.
Well, we were right there.
No, but I feel like there is no. It is what it is with Cam and Mace. There is no Joe and Jada. I feel like you guys really kind of.
Yeah, we made it.
Drink
cool.
Champs made. I feel like you guys are the godfathers of the current podcast wave in hip hop.
I'll break it down like this for you. The very first podcast, hip hop podcast, has to go to Cypher Sounds in Rosenberg.
Yeah, shout out to Juan Ep.
Yeah, Juan Ep. I used to do their podcast, and we used to do it here. Like, you see how I just did the Breakfast Club when I came here? So I used to do the morning show or whatever, and I used to do their podcast, and I used to not curse. They used to be like, you could curse. I'd be like, I feel like you're tricking me. I feel like we're in the principal's office.
Right.
And you're telling me to curse, and then I'm going to get in trouble.
It's a test, yeah.
Yeah, then I'm going to get in trouble, because why are you telling me I can't curse and I'm in Hot 97? So I didn't get it. But when it comes to that, the very first hip-hop podcast is Juan Ep. After that was Ice-T.
See, I never listened to Ice-T's podcast.
Ice-T had a podcast. Then comes Combat Jack.
Combat Jack for sure.
Combat Jack. I forgot
the Combat
that
Jack
network.
show. Charlamagne was a part of that network.
It was a whole network. Yeah.
Brilliant Idiots was on that network.
Yeah.
Premium Pete and those guys.
Yeah. Yep.
But I feel like you did the guest-driven shit.
So what happened was, we had a radio show with Leo G. You remember Leo G, 66 Raw?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had a radio show, and it was called Militant Crazy Raw Radio. It's the same exact fucking thing. If you look it up on YouTube, we cheated. We used the same exact show.
Right.
The only thing is we had Tiger Bone.
Right. And
the shit worked. But then remember Sirius Satellite, and was it 66 Raw and Shade?
They merged.
They merged.
Yeah.
And I had just moved from New York. I was stressed. And they were like, yo, to keep this going, we want y'all to come up once a week in New York. And I was just like, nah. I was just like, I had needed a break, so I didn't do it. Years later, EFN was pissed. EFN knew what we had. Like, I got to give him. He has patience. I don't. And he, years later, came to me and was like, yo, I got this play. It's called a podcast, but we do the same exact thing. And the concept was just us be us, because we had copywritten Drink Champs, because I used to use EFN studio, and he used to play poker, and we used to drink all night. I'll be drinking on one side of the studio, he'll be playing poker on the other side of the studio, and whoever would be up at night, we would be like, oh, you're a drink champ, you're a drink champ.
Right.
So we just took the name to play around. I made a song called Drink Champ with Alchemist. You can Google it.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk about me challenging all the rappers.
Right.
I beat Birdman, I beat all these guys in drinking. And then years later, we did it, and then CBS came to the table, and then Revolt came to the table, and it just everything took off.
Do you speak to the importance of EFN? Because I feel like he's I feel like he's such an underrated guy, and his knowledge of hip hop is top tier. He's such I think he's amazing, man. I think he adds so much to the show, but just like the importance of, I mean, obviously you're Noreaga, so you're fucking N.O.R.E. Everybody knows N.O.R.E.
Yes.
But EFN's so important to the equation.
He's hip hop. Like one thing for sure, two things for certain. He has morals in places where I don't.
Yes.
Like, he does not do things for the money. He takes the money.
You'll take the money all day.
He'll take the money.
But he's not money driven.
But he's not money driven. And that is a quality in itself. And that humbles me at times. You know what I'm saying? Like,
probably evens you out a little.
It evens me out
You
a
might
lot.
have to be like, hey, yo, N.O.R.E., yo, not all money's good money. Let's not.
But he does like money. Don't get it twisted.
Of
He
course.
does like money, but he's always morals driven. Like to this day, like, he won't DJ unless it's vinyl.
See, I don't get that.
Yeah, that he's stubborn. He's stubborn.
I respect it because you're kind of like a weird niche DJ.
Yeah,
where you're like,
yes.
hey, if we're going to do some hipster backpack night, who's going to carry fucking 7 crates in tonight? EFN. Or you can just bring your fucking laptop. I was at Static Selector's bar last night, and the DJ was only playing on vinyl, and I'm like, this is the most inefficient bullshit I've ever seen.
It's hip-hop, though.
No, it is, but it's also like, yo, guys, technology, guys. Like,
you know what's crazy? And I know I'm gonna sound like a dinosaur, but you can, if you actually listen, you can tell when the person's playing vinyl.
You can by how they mix.
Yes. You can actually tell.
You can tell.
I can walk into a party and be like, "Yo, that's Talib Kweli on the vinyl." Like, I can tell, like, because I don't know the way the record is mixed, but yeah, he does not confine with technology.